Hey, it's Laurie McNaughton, the founder of Scale Up Business Performance Systems, coming to you again with another episode. This in building that foundation for a successful business. And today's subject I want to talk about is communication inside a business, because I'm guessing that sometimes you guys have poor communication. I'm not saying you all do, just saying, sometimes you got to look in the mirror, right? And we have an old saying in the coaching industry that says communication is the response that you get. So if when I say that communication is the response that you get, who owns that communication? So that essentially, if you get a bad response, it's a response in a relationship to how you communicated that. Now, what I've found in my coaching practice over the past 2+ decades is that it's not that people want to communicate poorly. It's not the people want to say things incorrectly. It's that they just don't have another way to say it. And so, if you don't have another way to say it, then you're going to say whatever it is that you have to say the way you say it. But also, people can get angry or frustrated because they want to say this in a way that moves everybody forward, but they don't know what to say to do that. And so I'm going to try and uncover that just a little bit so that you can improve future communications. Now, there's a couple of things I want to talk about here, and I'm going to talk about that in other episodes, and that is meetings are part of a communication. Now, I've primarily dealt with companies in the construction, manufacturing, wholesale distributors, some engineering firms, anybody that has a team of people. And I can tell you that, respectively, all of these different businesses have very similar challenges. And so, if you start off the day, let's say you've got a small team of 5 people, or maybe you've got 25 people, but they're broke into 5 different teams or 4 different teams. You start off with a quick daily huddle, and that daily huddle is really simple. It's not about a big long conversation about anything. It's simply about, okay, so how did you make out with what you had on your plate yesterday? Awesome. What do you got on the plate today? Is there anything that's going to get in the way of you getting that done? No. Awesome. We'll talk either at the end of the day or in our tomorrow's huddle. And then each week you also have, I've heard them referred to as SAM, special attention meetings. So this is when you deal with systems that are not functioning properly. Now, your system should run the business and the people should run the system. So you manage systems and you lead people. And how you lead people is by bringing them in to help you solve a system problem. So if a system breaks down, you explain it during your special attention meeting, and then you say, so how can we solve this so that it doesn't happen again? And then it's documented as a system. And then, yeah, maybe that system breaks down, but then you deal with it again and make those adjustments that you need to make in order to make the system function normally. And that's done through communication meetings. So one special attention meeting each week, and then you're going to have a little bit longer meeting once a month. Like those special attention meetings should not go over an hour. By the way, the daily huddles should be like 5-10 minutes at the very most, depending on the size of the team. Uh, a special attention meeting, no more than an hour. That means that if you haven't solved it, you table it for the next special attention meeting. You don't say, "Oh, let's just sit around here and try and figure it out." You don't do that because, first of all, uh, outside of the meeting, some people will come up and think about some of the solutions to the challenges rather than trying to hammer it home in that time and taking up time when people should be out being productive and making money in the business. Then once a month, you have a little bit longer meeting. And here's where you address situations or talk about, this is the vision of the company, this is the mission of the company, and these are the core values of the company. You recognize 2 or 3 people who lived up to those core values. Maybe you give them a coffee card. I don't know what it is, some kind of an reward for adhering to the vision, mission, or core values of the company. And you'd also give some metrics at that particular point. So if you set out, sales goals or revenue goals or productivity goals, whatever that might be, you recognize those at that particular time and say, we're on track, off track. If we're off track, why are we off track? What do we need to do to make sure that we get back on track? And then once a quarter, you do a quarterly planning session. That's going to be at the very least a half a day. You might want to do a whole day. I probably would look at just doing it in a half day as a quarterly, and then as a when you once a year you're going to do like a full planning session, and that could be at least a day, maybe 2 days. Um, so in that quarterly planning, you're going to say, here's our goals for the quarter. Here's our strategies that we're going to work on for the quarter. So the strategies could be about, increasing our average dollar sale with our customers, or creating more transactions, or getting our marketing on track, or working on our sales conversion, or working on delivery, uh, working on productivity issues, all those kinds of things. And so that's your quarterly planning. So this is all part of the communication. Now, I want to tie this in because this is really, really important. And I'm going to use the term, and I've talked about it in a previous video, and that's leadership, because leadership is about how do I help you succeed in my business? Or how do I help you succeed in the team that I manage? That's what leadership is. I said you manage systems and you lead people. And so always think about, how do I help you? I want you to succeed at this job. Why do I want you to succeed? There's a dozen reasons why. First of all, it's a hassle rehiring or going through the hiring process over and over again for those of you who have a lot of turnover. And plus, care about those people that work for you if you want them to care about your business. And so you're going to say, listen, I want you to succeed at this. And here's some things you're doing really well, but here's some things that have broken down. How do we fix this together? How do we solve this together? How do we work together to make this work? You're going to get way more buy-in from people. And when people help you solve the problems, not only do they buy in, but they're way more likely to stay involved in that. So, the more you can learn about good communication, the better, because when you communicate with people better, remember communication, the response you get, the better response you get. And so learning how to communicate inside a business is huge. Just as an FYI, I do team alignment, team planning, strategic planning days, leadership and communication days, all that kind of stuff that will help open that up for you in your company and help create a atmosphere, culture, however you want to describe it, where people are more committed, more bought in, more excited, and in part because they know, listen, if I help you, Mr. Business Owner, succeed at what you're working at, then I'm going to succeed at what I want. I'm going to get what I want. And remember, that's what you should be thinking about with your employees all the time. How do I help you get what you want? Because if I help you get what you want, you're going to help me get what I want, which is I want a smoother running, profitable business that thrives and grows even when I'm on vacation. When I'm on vacation, I can turn my phone off. I can not bother with emails. And I know when I come back, my business is thriving and growing. Even when I'm not there, my team is taking care of things. And that all comes from communication. And as I said, part of that is communication skills. Part of that's meeting structure. All of those things to do with creating a really open communication inside your company. People want to know what's going on and how they can help. I promise you that. I was an employee for 20 years before I became a business coach, and in the past 2+ decades, as I said, I've coached, I don't know, 200 to 250 different companies. And I can tell you that once you open up this communication, and I've done this, I've literally made significant changes in one day with teams, because I've been through enough personal and professional development to understand how you bring people through that process to where they at the other end there. I'm all in, and I'm going to be a part of this, not just the team, the business owner as well, because it all flows from the business owner. The business is always a reflection of the owner. Don't ever forget that. Okay, so I think I've talked enough about communication. Listen, I invite you to click on the link and book yourself a discovery call Discovery call is simply 15 minutes. Like, where are you at? Where do you want to be? What do you see as that's holding you back from what you where you want to be? And I've helped businesses change dramatically, very quickly. Things that would take normal people, when I say normal people, everybody's a normal person, but take people 3, 5, and God forbid even longer to figure out get it figured out in a year. Change things that fast inside a company. And it's through tried, tested, and proven strategies that I've been, like I said, using for over a couple of decades now. So if you're interested in finding out how that can help ignite you and turn your business into that profitable, thriving enterprise that's fun, exciting, and people love to come to work there, and you love to come to work, and you also get to relax and enjoy life. Click on the link, book yourself a discovery call. In that 15 minutes, we'll know whether we want to talk longer. And if I like you and you like me and you like what I had to say and I like how you address things, then we'll book a complimentary coaching session. That's approximately 90 minutes, an hour, 60 to 90 minutes long. And in that time, I'm going to dive in deep to understand what the causes are, share with you the solutions to that. And if you think it's of value to you, we'll put together a program that works for you. Thanks for listening. Again, Laurie McNaughton. I'm the founder of Scale Up Business Performance Systems, and I'm here to help you help your business perform even better. Take care. I look forward to the opportunity to be of service.